Hey everybody, we're back in Jeff's kitchen today. I'm going to give you a very quick tutorial on how to make a plant-based cheese sauce. Uh, and I wanted to talk to you for just a minute about type 2 diabetes and why it's really important to consider taking dairy out of your diet. A lot of people don't understand that um, insulin is a hormone, and there's a signaling process that happens to get insulin inside of your cells so that blood sugar doesn't build up. The first thing that happens is if we're packing our cells full of fat, there's something called an intramicellular lipid, and the the lipids basically fill the cells, the fat fills the cells, and when the insulin comes in, it's saying I'm full, and that's why your blood sugars go way up. So it's a lot of people think it's the carbohydrates. Is not the carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are not the problem for type 2 diabetes. Carbohydrates is going to cause an insulin response, and it's going to cause your blood sugar, your insulin to spike, and then if the energy is not getting in the cells, then what happens is your blood sugars go up. So carbohydrates are not the problem. The best thing that you can do is cut the fat if you want to manage your type 2 diabetes and lower your insulin and metformin and that type of thing. And those drugs have all sorts of horrific effects on the body. I hate to see you lose toes and things like that. You just don't want to be on the stuff. And you can actually reverse type 2 diabetes very quickly with a plant-based diet. They've done this high fiber diets we've known this since the 1950s, that's a good way to clear the fat out is to do plant-based high fiber diet, and to then the insulin will cause the energy, the sugars, to get into your cells where you need them. You need those glycogen stores. So I would encourage you to, for one, ditch dairy. It's one of the worst things you can do for your health, especially type 2 diabetes. And if you think about it this way, cow dairy is meant to take an infant calf and blow it up to a 600-pound bovine in months. If you just have a difficult time with the cheese, at least with goat's cheese, it's a little bit more similar to mammalian milk, like human mammalian milk, in so much as there's not as much what they call IGF-1, which is an insulin-like growth factor. That IGF-1, at least in goats, makes them gain about 20 pounds, a little more similarly to a human. But I just encourage you to take a look at it. I was pre-diabetic, and I ditched the dairy, and my blood glucose numbers are excellent. My HbA1c is excellent. And I've heard this over and over again, one of the best resources that I can give you is masteringdiabetes.org. I'll link to them in the description. I also have an article on how to manage type 2 diabetes with a plant-based diet. I'll also link that in the description of the video. And then for today, we're going to do a dairy replacement. I'm going to show you how to make a really super easy cheese sauce. Get my stove on here and the water boiling. Super easy. And you can use this like on a mac and cheese. I'm going to put it over cauliflower a little later today. I really like it like on like with steamed broccoli over a baked potato, and put the cheese sauce over the baked potato. And of course, pasta is a great conduit for it. So super easy, very healthy, no fat, no oil, no cholesterol, and let's get started. So just showing you what I have here. The recipe that I'm going to link to is double this. I'm cutting it in half for today. So what I have is 1.5 cups of vegetable broth, and I'm going to put in 1 cup of cubed Yukon Gold potatoes. I'm going to add in 3/4 cup of kind of a rough cut carrot, and a little less than 1/2 cup of raw cashews. Get those in there. Now basically all I'm going to do is let this cook, and then we're going to throw it in a blender in a little while. When this is done, it takes about 15 minutes, and we'll make a real nice cheese sauce. So I'll get back to you when this is done and we're ready for the blender. Okie doke, so we're back. This is done cooking. I forgot to mention to you that you do want to use a lid, otherwise you're going to boil all the liquids out. If you do happen to need to add water to it, that's not a problem. So what I'm going to do is throw this in my blender. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. This is about 1/8 of a teaspoon of turmeric. It's also got 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. And almost 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. I can tell right now I'm going to need a little extra water in this. Going to blend this up. Just a little bit more water to this. I've let too much boil out. Scrape the sides. That way we have all that onion powder, garlic powder, and turmeric in there. This Ninja is new to me. Usually I just use a blender. You can see how nice and smooth this is getting. I'm going to add just a hair more water to that. And that is all there is to it. Makes a nice cheese sauce as far as for mac and cheese or over a potato or something like that. But for today, I decided to make a quick addition to it. I'm going to show you how to make this into a nacho cheese sauce. So what I have here is chickpea flour. You can also use agar. Now what that's going to do is make it kind of stringy. I'm going to add a little Tabasco just to give it a kick. And then I'm going to add some diced red pepper to it. And I'm just going to give this a quick blend up. And once this sets just a little bit, you'll see that this is kind of going to turn into more of a stringy, like a nacho style cheese sauce. So that's all there is to it. Very, very easy to do. Get you back up here, looking at you. So again, ditch the dairy if you're trying to manage type 2 diabetes. It's also a great way to lose weight. You don't need the IGF-1 growth factor. There's also casein in dairy, and that casein protein will cause tumors to grow. So just really not very good for human health. Don't forget to take your vitamin D3. If you don't know about that, we talked about why that's really super important for COVID-19. And I'll link to the recipe as always in the description as well. Thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed it today.